Okay, we are back. And last night, the wife and I watched Being the Ricardos, which takes place in 1952. It's about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz and the personal and professional obstacles that they run into that threaten their careers and their relationships and their hit television show. Now, this was written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. It's out on Amazon Prime. It's been nominated for multiple awards during the award season. So this is the time of year when my wife and I try to catch up on all the award films and things that were out there. So we watched this, and Nicole Kidman just destroyed this role. She did such a good job as Lucille Ball, Lucy. She looked so much like her in some shots that she dissolved into the character. Her voice was spot on. And see, I think there was a kind of a dust up early on when they did the casting on this. Now, their daughter, the real life Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter, um, gave this movie her blessing, and I think it's based on a book or something that she had something to do with. And so she came out and supported the casting right away and did some YouTube videos and stuff supporting the casting on it. I think people had some idea because they didn't know what the movie was about when it first came out, was that they were like Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem as, Desi Arnaz. They don't look like them. They don't sound like them. And there was a big push for a recasting. And I think they wanted Deborah Messing because Deborah Messing had done, I think, something on her show where she dressed up or did like a cosplay of Lucille Ball, but it was more of that the comedy parody part. And see, that's what was very eye-opening about the movie is Nicole Kidman played Lucille Ball. She didn't play Lucy the character on the TV show, and there was a big difference between who they were in real life and what they portrayed on screen. Because I think the people that watch this, the people that grew up, I watched I Love Lucy and obviously in syndication as a kid, and when you watch it, she's a character, but we always seem to mix that up between who they are in the real world. And but I thought Javier Bardem did a great job as the character of Desi Arnaz. The issue I have is I believe he's a lot taller than Desi Arnaz, so that kind of kept taking me out of it. But also his voice is pitched very deep, and Desi had a very high pitched voice, so or relatively higher. So that always kind of, but he did a fantastic job portraying him. Other than that, Nicole Kidman, like I said, oh my, I couldn't figure out whether or not they put any prosthetics on her to make her look more like Lucille Ball, but I don't know. I feel like there was something about her high cheekbone back here that looked like it was a prosthetic that went around like you could see where the seam was around the ear, and it kind of like jetted back a little bit to give her more of that cut jawline. But they may not have done that at all. It's just was brilliant makeup, and hats off to the set design, the costumes. Everything was period piece, 1952. The cars, the set dressing, everything was just gorgeous. I mean, this movie was gorgeous. They spared no expense. Linda Lavin was in the film, which she used to live here in my hometown and moved back up to New York. So it was very pleasant because I'd met her several times over the years at functions. It was just perfect casting. What was really cool about the movie is they did these flashbacks where it was non-linear storytelling. So it would all kind of took place during 1 week in a span of time when there was some controversy because headlines were coming out, and they would go forward to the future to talk to the writers and the producers of the show, so those actors, and then they would flash back to the 1952, and then they would show the show, and then they would show how Lucy got there. So the story was nonlinear, but it was done really well. I feel like everyone's jumped on the nonlinear storytelling ever since This Is Us has been on TV the last 6 or 7 years, and some do it well and some don't, but Aaron Sorkin is a great writer, great director, so no problem there. Nina Arianda played Vivian Vance, who she did a fantastic job. She was another one that melted into the role. J.K. Simmons played William Frawley, who played, I guess was it Fred on the show? Just spitting image. I mean, and the voice inflections and everything. I mean, they all had to really study these people in real life to pull it off. But like I said, Javier was a little off. Everyone else was just spot on. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. Didn't feel like 2 hours and 5 minutes. Again, it's on Amazon Prime. It's it's funny. It's got a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 6.6 out of from IMDb. Metacritic has it at 60%, but I give this thing like at least an 85 in Rotten Tomatoes. I would say this is more like a 9 on IMDb on the 10 for my personal feelings. And Clark Gregg was in it. Coulson, honorable mention there. But yeah, fantastic movie. Guys, if you haven't seen Being the Ricardos, you should. There's also a documentary on Amazon right now as well about them, more of a historical thing, so you could kind of watch that and then watch Being the Ricardos, or vice versa, and it'll give you just a full encompassing of like Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. This was great. Being the Ricardos. What did you guys think? Did you see it? Let's talk about it in the comment section, and we'll see you on the next one.